Hey everybody, it's Last Robokai here, and it's time for some more Fate Samurai Remnant, Bylong in the Crimson Demon DLC. We are getting close towards the end. We are pouring through all of the information that's available, and we are figuring out why everything's happening, but there are still some holes in our information, some gaps in our knowledge. For example, how is it using magic that nobody can usually use at this point in time? The ability to de-age someone, especially a being that has never actually experienced a childhood like Shosetsu, is crazy. It is something that should not be happening, and is probably only happening because the waxing moon ritual is busted as hell. So we're gonna hopefully get to the bottom of this mystery today, and joining me along this is Cool Guy.
Bloody miracle that anything with this damn ritual works at all.
Abe no Seimei has so much to answer for. Doman is just in the background, screaming, "I told you so." He says a lot. He likes to
Swear to God. Every single time we go on to a new plot point, the plot point hinges on Abe no Sebe sucks at his job. And also, Tsuchimikado sucks at his job. That's it.
Well, he did it the way it was supposed to do, to be perfectly honest. And unfortunately, it just seems like Abe no Seimei has done a terrible job of writing down his actual notes. He's probably got really poor handwriting. Was also probably drunk. So we're gonna sort of get in on there because Dorothea and Co did manage to weaken the Kokokusho, the creature that's gone around abducting all the children in Edo, and it seems to be heading off to Ueno, where we know Tsuchimikado has set a trap. He's there with Zheng and Zhou, and they're waiting for it to turn up. So let's go see what happens, and let's get stuck straight in.
You too. That jackass.
He's helping today, it's okay.
No, he's not! He's just being less overtly idiotic.
That's helping.
No, it's not. You and I have very different definitions of helping. What you ready your competence to do something right for a change? I didn't think it would actually be dumb enough to do that.
Well, with enhanced intelligence, you would assume it might be a bit more canny to traps. So he doesn't just save that gesture for Caster.
Didn't he do it on Ibuki Doji at one point too? I don't know. He doesn't deserve the Dono honorific. Never use that again.
Yep, and we're going to spend a bit more time with Zhou. Thankfully, in dealing with the flying enemy, we do have the best servant for the job.
True. Haha, I am going to go out of your range. And show you is range.
Yeah, there are some servants out there whose ranges are fairly cracked. And they're pretty much all archers.
Damn decent of them to at least halfway crack the barrier for the first time.
Yeah, well, that's Tsuchimikado's spell, I would assume.
Right.
That work.
That's what I meant. Damn decent of Tsuchimikado to do something right for a nanosecond.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, there you go. There's the correct idiom.
どうにかなってしまったな。もう少し苦戦するものと思ったが。
Honestly, so did I.
以前ほどの手強さがなかったのは監督役の助力のおかげか、それとも。
まあ無事に古閣長は倒したんだ。これで霊脈の支配を取り戻すことも叶おう。
うん、これはいかなることだ。何故かような。そんなはずは。
どうした土帝殿。
悪い知らせだ。未だ霊脈の支配は解かれておる。
Oh no, there was a bigger bad. It's calling in the mothership.
何者かにしかと抑えられたまま掌握しようとしても拒まれる。
だが古閣長を撃った手応えに間違いはない。まさか異変は奴の仕業ではなかったのか。
うん。
テイにアーチャー、こんなところにいたのだな。
おっとこれは勢揃いだな。
I appreciate the Dorothea. I can't be bothered to run. She's still sauntering.
ああそうだ。いおりは知らんだ
She
ろ
could
う
probably use magic to speed herself up without actually having to, like, run.
古閣長討伐に力を貸してくれた。
She's created some kind of spell. What makes walking faster?
貴殿が技能。ん？いや待て。今古閣長の討伐と言ったか。
ああ確かに言ったが、つい先ほど退治が済んだところだ。
監督役殿の罠にかけてな。いささか時は費やしたが。
You know, you guys already know it didn't fix everything. You can wipe the smug looks off your faces.
それはいかほどだ。まさか一発で仕留めたわけではないだろう。待っていた時の方が長いくらいだったから四半時ほどだと思うが、何が聞きたい？
テイ、それはおかしい。俺たちは今の今まで古閣長の影を追ってきた。四半時前に貴殿らのもとに現れたというのはどうにも辻褄が合わん。
あの声はまさか古閣長か。
なるほど、そういうことか。道理で霊脈の支配を取り返せぬわけだ。古閣長は一話。
Decoy of a decoy of a
これは
decoy.
本体の手足に過ぎるのやもしれん。
In the end, the thing is so full of magical energy from the air lines, why couldn't it project itself outwards?
倒された古閣長が別のもの。
I mean, it can cast spells that turns back time. That would be a piece of cake to it.
すべて叩き落としてくれる。
Guess who's back? Back again. Birdie's back. Tell a friend.
Yeah, this guy's kind of turned up at a really bad time though, because everyone's here and angry at him.
倒して確かめれば良いことだ。
ここに行こう。超運だ。
I mean, there's no real guarantee this is the real
Enough
one.
of that scream. Like, dude screams more than a monster hunter monster. At least he doesn't force you to hold your ears.
You just know someone out there is just gonna be like, just put in earplugs, man.
Would if I could.
攻めるぞセイバー。超運だろ。出番だ。
Appreciate how you took Iori's command there literally in terms of mechanics. Saber, press the attack. Okay.
Press the attack button. So you probably didn't see it too well there, but its chest opened up and it had teeth. That's like one of my favorite monster tropes. When it just, like a body part opens up and there's teeth. Yes, even that body part, if you're wondering.
Every teeth, teeth everywhere. Omni teeth.
そういまい。
今は貴殿の力が頼りだ。
Man, this is the definition of talking as a free action.
Yeah, Everyone's just projecting.
These incredibly long-winded statements while everybody is trying to murder each other.
7 years ago.
I do like the idea of a version of Abe Lincoln's Zombie Hunter or whatever the heck it was, and he's just hewing his way through a bunch of zombies while reciting the Gettysburg Address.
2はいれば何はいようと不思議ではないと思ってはいたがこうも
Do you have any idea what you're doing, Tsuchimikado? No, don't answer
何
that.
か
You
狙い
don't.
があるんじゃないかしら。ここにしかないものが。
Yeah, it's Yui.
来るぞ、気をつけよ。
I think the vessel was still in the hands of Tsuchimikado at this time as well, so it's entirely possible they could be aiming for that.
なんだ、襲ってこぬのか。
ややこや、ややこ。
この声、浅草で聞いたものと。
You know, I spent a lot of time dunking on Peoples' fashion in this game. That is some good-ass drip she's got.
なんだ。こちらを。
I'm always a big fan of large floating discs on the back.
I'm a big fan of the shoulder pads and the cape. Like, that is awesome looking.
この騎士魔人があまねく子らをさらうぞ。
騎士魔人だと
入り屋においで。今のはなんだ。騎士魔人とは神仏の名のはず。
Yes. In fact, a very prominent deity associated with the Mahayana Buddhist traditions. One of the 24 protective deities. She was originally someone who captured a whole bunch of children to look after them, and then lost one, and went to Buddha, and Buddha was like, okay, so let's just think about this for a second. You're really upset because you've lost one of like a huge number of kids you've got, right? You've stolen quite possibly the only child that some people have had. How do you think they feel about that? And she was just like, oh. And from then on, Kishimojin swore off the entire affair of doing that sort of behavior and became a protective deity for children. And, and, you know, some folk traditions still sort of, paint her as a demon as well, from those initial origins.
Her villain arc.
Yeah. Not quite as funny as Tarask, the story of Tarask, where Saint Martha convinces the dragon to convert to her religion, and then when he comes to the town, having repented, everyone just throws rocks at him, and he gets really sad and just dies.
It's like it might sound awful that we're laughing at it, but please trust me when I say it's presented as a sort of black humor irony even in the source material.
Yeah, because like Martha turns up in France, and she's like, "Yo, God's fantastic," and they're all like, "Oh yeah, if God's so fantastic, he should be able to protect you while you go and like, kill the dragon that's like bothering us." And she's just like, "I'm like an old woman," and they're like, "Do it." So she did it. She scolded him into converting.
Even in France, they have the power of the babushka is completely incontrovertible.
So at the very least, we can kind of understand why this might actually be possible to happen now. We've got a real melting pot of things that have happened to combine into one extremely troublesome source. This is the true story regarding all of the rumors that we've been poking through.
その遊女は馴染みの旦那と仲良くなって子を授かりました。ところが義郎の主人はそれを許さず、授かった子は生まれる前に命を落とし
And the truth is worse than pretty much every rumor that existed.
Yep.
遊女は子を失った悲しみ
Tragically common this point in history as well.
やや子を返して。そうやって遊女は夜ごと町をさまよっていつしか取りつかれたのでしょう。子を求めるもののけに、こんな顛末ってわけかい。胸の悪くなる話さね。もののけの名は古格長。英月の儀で発生したとおぼしき大陸由来の怪異。この魂を求めさらい我がものとする性質を持つ。経を発した遊女がそれに疲れて水子の霊をさまよう子供たちの霊魂を捕らえ食らってしまった。
get the super baby that came along with Zhao Yun.
子を取り戻したい女性にとってそれはどれほどの悪夢だったでしょう。母として子を慈しみたい、愛したいのに憑依した魔獣がそれを許さない。苦悩、悲嘆、悔恨、喪失感。
You're Jeanne d'Arc. You're goddamn right. You can begin to imagine her pain. You're just being humble.
だから人の子をさらってるっていうのか。くだらねえ。それ式の怪異が江戸中の霊脈を引っかき回せるってのもおかしな話で。
ええ、そうね。その点はもうあなたの言う通りなんだけど、私たちが調べられる限りではこれが精一杯かね。
本来古閣町に霊脈を支配するほどの知恵と力などあるはずもない。故により代を得たとは思っていたが、心霊の力を得ていたともなれば。
騎士文人か。
心霊の限界は英月を用いたとてかなわぬはずだが、あれは騎士文人を名乗り、神のもたらすにふさわしい。
It is important to remember that just to call a Buki Doji, Yusahiro had to do an extra ritual on top of it.
Yeah. It's not only the waxing moon there, though it certainly didn't help them.
英月の魔力で召喚の連鎖が起きたと見るべきか。
I do appreciate during that intervening cutscene that they maintained the entire thing where Musashi took off her shoes when she went in to talk to Daio. But Chiamon didn't have to because he's already walking around with his nasty ass feet everywhere.
Yeah, I almost feel like you'd have to have him put shoes on when he walks
Yeah,
in
it's
places.
just like, dude, come on, man. Like, give us a break. The tatami are not ready to handle whatever the fuck is going on with your grody ass
手に
feet.
したものはあるものだ。であれば必ず良しがある。しかし英月とはかようなまでに奇跡を起こすか。義の再会が待ち遠しいというものだ。
Oh, shut your damn mouth, dude.
神秘。
ならば和子様は
吉原の水子の霊魂どもと共に食われた。そう
Yeah, it ain't looking good for the kids at this
Yeah.
point.
土帝
I mean, this is the one time I'm going to take Tsuchimikado's side here, Saber. That is literally the most logical conclusion based on what's going on.
必ず和子様を救ってみせる。敵が神であるならば神を殺してでも取り戻す。だが貴殿らまで巻き込もうとは思わぬ。神に挑む無謀、あえて強いるつもりはない。確かにどうしようもなく無謀な話だ。命を捨てに行くのと何も変わらん。だがその無謀を犯さねば英月の義も立ち行かないのだろう。
正気なの？魔獣と混ざり合ってはいても相手は心霊よ。マスターのないはず。
I do appreciate how this is actively assuming that this is prior to the point where the Kang Command Championship is going on. Because everybody's still just like God level. Man, that is out of our pay grade. Like no way, bro.
We can probably safely assume that just occurs along a different timeline.
Or something like that, yeah.
It basically,
Or-
this game sort of refers to the DLCs as fragments of, like, history. So, and it's important to remember, of course, that Fate itself often has divergent timelines and things. It's often a very big feature of a lot of games. The Extella games, for instance. The first one deals heavily with the concept of, like, time travel and moments where, like, divergent paths can be reversed and locks in time, where certain events cannot be undone by going backwards, etc., etc. And it's, so in this particular case, it's entirely possible, at the very least, that every single ending in this game is canon. Every single event that happens is canon. It is important to note as well, like, when Ibuki Doji joins the main party, she talks about, hey, you know, don't forget me this time. Obviously implying that, she's come down in a path line where she remembers what's happened, but they don't, because it hasn't happened.
どうでしょう。
Fucking Musashi.
出した神ぐらいならあれだけど
You've killed a god before, right? Yeah, definitely. Least trustworthy face ever.
She does go on to kill a god. Actually, well, not
No,
quite.
I believe it. I like, particularly considering what we've spoken about with regards to her. Still, you know, like, least trustworthy face ever is the one she decides to smash on there.
でもいいの
Well, you know, if you see God on the road, cut him down. But yeah, really, if you're talking about god killers, though, you do have Saber and Ryder.
Right.
One who has killed, you know, more than one god, and another who is basically the anti-mystic incarnate. So, yeah, it's pretty good.
殿が表するセイバー霊気の英霊だ。
そうだろうそうだろう
無論我がアーチャーも劣らんぞ。他のサーバントたち
And of course, one of the very important things to note in Fate is that certain circumstances rhyming with their historical counterparts will often make certain actions stronger. So, Shoyun heading into enemy territory in order to retrieve Liu Bei's son will no doubt grant him a significant power boost.
確かに
何を勝手に
Oh, shut up, dude.
ここは手を組むべきかと
勝手にやってやる行くぞランセ
My
承知しました
God.
皆ご分
It's like that one dude who misses the point of punk rock by trying to be more punk rock than punk rock.
程度で我が策は
Like when that happened, my jaw like really just fell, like in an amused kind of way. I was just like, "Holy shit, this man really just did
Yeah,
that."
I don't believe for a damn second that he's gonna stay away.
待ってくれ帝成功殿
なんだ。
貴殿に一つ尋ねたいのだが
Yeah, so I had to stop recording at that point to do
も
something.
はや一刻の猶予もない
Everyone just sort of really just talks about like, "Oh, you think we can do a god? Oh well, I guess we will."
済んでいるかならば
We'll give it the old college try.
尽力を期待するぞ
If you expect nothing less than perfection, you should have let somebody else than yourself plan it.
Yeah, we're off to a completely new location in the game, Iria.
ここは本当にイリアかまるで元の姿をとどめていない
まがまがしいな神の荒御霊とはまた異なるものだ
気をつけなさいもう私たちは結界の中に踏み込んでいるわおそらくここが騎士魔人の本拠よ想像した以上に立ちの悪い結界ね放っておけば江戸一帯がこうなってしまうかも
何としても阻止しなければなるまい。さあ改めて作戦を確認しよう。土帝殿曰く騎士魔人の支配した霊脈にこちらから干渉弱体化を図るということだったな。
その間に俺たちは騎士魔人を探し奴が弱ったところを叩く
霊脈への干渉は任せてもらおう奴の魔力の性質おおむね好みが把握したすでに土帝殿は下準備に向かってくれた木を見て私が術を発動させる
I expect it to blow up in your face when you try.
騎士魔人はあなたを狙
Look, at the very least, that guy has actually not cast a spell that hasn't worked. He did the ritual. He did summon Ibuki Doji. He just believed he could control her. His trap did work. Like, everything that he does is foundationally correct. He also sees a lot of servants.
The only one of those that I'm giving you that actually worked is the trap. the trap for the crow. Like, that's it. That's the only one I'm giving you. Everything else has genuinely blown up in his face. Like, it's foundationally correct, and then it still blows up in his damn face.
I mean, the ritual didn't blow up in his face.
What,
I mean,
the
it's certainly
waxing
giving him
moon? Hell yes, it did!
Only insofar that
That's like a chain reaction of blowing. That is a cluster bomb of blowing up in your face.
Please, that's not how it works. It's not a
That's
cluster bomb.
exactly how it works.
流行るなと言いたいところだが、今ばかりはお前のことの葉がありがたい。
I think you're just too harsh on the man.
頼むぞ。
I am not.
やけに素直だな、より。常日頃からそうあってくれて良いのだぞ。
Speaking of things that you shouldn't
俺
do.
はいつ何時も素直だろ。趙雲だろ。必ずや和子を取り戻そう。俺たちも助力は
Yeah, conceptually we're a very strong team against this weird thing. This weird amalgamation of a possessed woman, a phantasmal monster, a baby, and a god.
I'm sorry, but like the description of a forlorn woman, a baby-eating demon, and a baby is just the way you talked about that struck me as extremely funny somehow.
Yeah, it's a baby that takes like a really long time to chew as well. Like a spirit baby.
Gotta have the trash mobs beforehand. We spent too much time talking.
I think I got the most out of this area.
Sit down.
Eventually we'll touch the ground again.
Talking about Monster Hunter earlier. Friggin' just using the insect glaive there. The last thing we want to do is put our feet on the filthy fucking ground.
Oh dear. I was just thinking actually just now, I've been playing Dynasty Warriors Origins. I did pick the game
Yeah.
up. I named the protagonist Miyamoto Oyori because I think I'm hilarious.
Then the game like immediately gave you a courtesy name, so it could talk to you normally, and everything just started kind of resonating with Iori's story to begin with. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is actually another feature of the legend of Kishimojin. When she forswore off basically the taking of children and all that other stuff that she was doing. I think like in some of the stories she was eating the children. She basically swore that the only thing that she would ever eat afterwards was pomegranates. And that's why there's like a weird sort of pomegranate theme going on around here. Because, you know, split pomegranates do have sort of an aspect that confuses AIs and other people to think it's actually gore.
It is true. Like a split up pomegranate, if you're not looking at the color well or whatever, it can look kind of grody. Although, you know, to any human that has ever eaten a pomegranate before, it just looks frickin' delicious.
Yeah, pomegranates are pretty ace.
Yep, they're good.
That's something I probably like. I'm glad I managed to get it in mention at the time.
I would have forgotten to say anything about it if you didn't say it. Mostly because, like the shot that it was giving us there was absolutely just split pomegranates, but I wouldn't have made the connection there.
Yeah. Like, that was, I knew, like, it's funny because me personally, the second I saw him, I was like, pomegranates, eh? And it was like, after doing the DLC, I sort of looked up this thing, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
And so, like, just getting back onto the Dynasty Warriors Origins thing, you can actually see a lot of DNA of this game, particularly, like, that menu and stuff like that, and some of the things you can do, and interrupts and stuff. Definitely seems like when they were working on Origins, Omega Force, the team who also made this game, were clearly, you know, throwing ideas between this and that, and And, you know, I don't know where the ideas came from first and who got iterated on afterwards, but you can just definitely feel the similarities in a lot of ways between them, whereas, like, obviously, Origins is way bigger in scale.
It's a part of game making that I frequently feel like people don't appreciate very much. But like programmers making structures that allow the game makers or the designers to easily copy ideas around and do things that feel intuitive and just work correctly is a huge part of it in terms of like making good feeling games and making them quickly. And it's something that people just sort of be like, oh, that's kind of cool, and they stop thinking about it altogether, which has always bothered me a bit because everybody relies on programmers, and a lot of people say things like, I can make my game really cool, I just need a programmer, and it's just like, well, people frequently don't respect the programmers that they have, so weird that you don't have a programmer, just saying.
あの子はまこと愛らしい子であった。果たして誰に捨てられたのか。やや子は一人で泣いていましたよ。
Abandoned is a very big word for what happened there.
奪わせるものか。子を傷つけ悲しませるものは皆悪である。
趙雲殿。どうやら話の通じる相手ではなさそうだ。
荒ぶる神いいな。これはむしろ人を蝕む魔であろう。神も魔もどちらであろうとアダナスならば制するまで。
ああ、和子様を一人にさせてしまったのは我が罪。もっと早くおそばに参じるべきだった。だからこそこれ以上貴様に預けておくことはできん。幼子を慈しむ貴様の気性は善なるものだろう。だが他者の子を奪いさらうは悪でしかない。返してもらうぞ騎士魔人よ。
The dreadful devoter.
Cool.
And I guess she was the Crimson Demon all along, because the pomegranates. Yeah, the face.
Face.
So I'm like, I don't actually know this thing's attacks. What does it do? Okay, alright.
Okay.
Alright. Guided magic missiles. Alright, that's a good start.
And we're getting freaking armored core in here.
Like it was getting ready to fire some more off the top of its head, that's fine. No big spells, please.
You need to stay stunned and reeling, because we don't want to let you play the game.
うぞうむぞうのさえずり良き子守歌となりましょう。
いくら叩き込んでもまる
You
で
just broke the barrier. I understand.
なぜ世の子なぜ世は世の子を食らいたくなどないのに。
Genuinely knocking sense into her by punching her through her villain arc. Cool.
No, you know. We're definitely dealing with something that's an amalgamation of many different emotions. And as a result, I think the demon itself, the Kakokchu, might have been in ascendance, in influence.
耐え忍び気を待つしかないか。
なぜ刃を向けるのです。 我が子を奪おうとする者、我が子を痛めつけようとする者、そのことごとくこの母が滅ぼしてやろうぞ。
さて、ここからどう戦う？
I am kind of curious about the little sort of weird flares on the end of her wings there. I assume the idea is that they might, like, they would be perhaps more traditionally like that across her entire wings if it wasn't for the Kokokcho's influence.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult for me to interpret it when the symbol on the wing itself is half.
お前、一体何を？
貴様が私に仕掛けたことをそのまま返したまで、我が姿を本来ありえぬ形へと変ずるほどの邪法、それを返される気分はどうだ、騎士文人よ。さあ、その身の内に蓄えた赤子の霊、あるべき場所へと返すがよい。
返す、返す、返さぬ、渡さぬ、奪わせぬ。決して一人たりとて、一匹たりとて逃がすものかよ。
小説殿。
ジョーン殿。
なりません、主。奴の狙いは今出て食われます。
またお前か。おこがましい。
たとえ神が相手であろうとも。
Sorry, lady, but this man's theme song is fire.
Yeah, you are stepping to the wrong brother right now.
よもや恐れを知らぬか。
Have you no sense of awe? She says to the guy who famously charged a cavalry of over 5,000 guys.
世のうい子、何故なく。ややこや、お前は幸せに。
Okay, bye.
消えた？
霊体化したな。体勢を立て直すべく一度退いたのだろう。まずは勝ち一つ。ゆいめ、なかなかやるものだ。
趙雲殿、大事ないか。
和子様。
何？
あの方はまだ生きておられる。
I mean, you know, it's been thrown on the ground. That point's durable.
Yeah, live is a word.
That's one baby that bounces. You don't have to worry about that one. You might wonder why I've closed it off at such a dramatic moment, since we're getting very close to the end, and that's because there's actually a substantial epilogue to this particular DLC. So I've sort of cut into segments the finale. So next time on Fate Samurai Remnant, we will finish off Kishimojin, and we will see what happens after that in the finale of Bylong and the Crimson Demon. So until then, I've been Last Robokai.
And I have been Cool Guy.
We'll see y'all next time.